Well, it's my great pleasure to welcome back Jean-Charles Moyen and David Rousseau to Exopolitics Today. Welcome, Jean-Charles and David.
Welcome, Michael. Welcome, David. Welcome, Malou.
And we also have Malou, who is the publisher of David Rousseau's books in French and also has begun the translation of them into English. So welcome, Malou.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So I have questions for both of you because your stories intertwine about your experiences with the French secret space program and contacts with extraterrestrials.
You're listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Sala, your source for the uncensored truth regarding the human, extraterrestrial, global, and political agenda. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And now, here's Dr. Michael Sala.
Let's move on now to the time when you and Jean-Charles met. So in both of your interviews that we did, you described being taken to a joint US-French space carrier called the Solaris. Now, David, you said you were taken there in 1981, possibly 1982, where you met for the first time. Jean-Charles said he was taken there in the summer of 1982 when he turned 13. So was this the correct time for you both when you met for the first time? Jean-Charles, begin with you.
Yeah, I think there is many timelines, because when I was in summer camp, I have a sunstroke and I was hospitalized. And after that, I began my training when I was a teenager. And this time I met David in the Solaris. After that, when I was more older and I was in a commando, I was recruit another times, but we are adults. So there are two timelines, okay? I think there are many more timelines, because my memory have a lot of memory about hospital, about summer camp, about training with David, and we have teenager, and after that we spend a lot of time in the Solaris during our training, and after that we have another experience about the secret space program, French secret space program, when we were adults.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if in your memory you recall in 1982 during the summer you were taken on board the Solaris and you met David and you had a lot of experiences there, and then you remembered a period later when you were working, or you were being conscripted into the French army, of also being taken into the space program and being on the Solaris. So those were the two groups of memories you had. Now, David says that he recalls you met on the Solaris around that period, and you were together for like 20 years.
Yeah. We are training in the classroom with a different alien teacher, and I was with David. David have a special training for David, and me, I have a special training because my abilities was very different of each other children. I was a teleportation capacity, and they have never seen before. This is the reason why Maria called me a super starseed, because I have a special abilities. So my training was different of David, but we work together and we're training together for some special classroom in the Solaris, and a lot of things, but we are already together for another mission, and that's right.
Okay, so you're 13 back in 1982, and you meet David. Now, David, you're 8 years old or 9 years old. So when you went to Nevada in 1981, you said that you were recruited. You accepted the offer and you were recruited into the secret space program, and you were there at Nevada for some months, and then you were taken to Solaris and met Jean-Charles. So again, I just want to get the timeline right, because you said you were in Nevada in 1981 and you were there for a couple of months, and then you met Jean-Charles. So the timing, is the summer of 1982 correct?
Summer 1982 is the right date for the first encounter with Jean-Charles, because you don't know how long he spent. The time was he spent on the base, and when he went on the Solaris. But he has lacks in his recalling. But yes, he thinks summer 1982 is right for this first encounter.
So now you both describe going into a room in the Solaris where you met Maria, and that you then began to train, and that you sat together for the first time. And that's when you met, and you were the only two human children, and you were being psychically trained on the Solaris. But the rest of the children there were extraterrestrials. Can you kind of elaborate on that? Jean-Charles, begin.
Yes. Yeah. I remember there is the only child, because my focus was into David. But there is a lot of children, terrestrial children, but I remember only one, because Maria tell me there is only one another children terrestrial is David. So I remember a lot of we met another children terrestrial, but not in the classroom. In the classroom there were many alien children and two terrestrial human, so me and David, only two in this classroom. But in the spaceship there is a very huge spaceship, and there is another classroom. But I remember my experience with David.
Was that because this classroom was unique compared to other ones? Like other classrooms might teach mathematics and physics, but this classroom was special because it involves psychic abilities?
Yes, because me and David have special abilities. David was very focused with empathic and telekinetic, a lot of telekinetic, but a lot of telepathic. David was very, very, very big telepathic capacity. And the other alien races in the room have the same abilities. So they put with other children with the same capacity, you know.
I see. So David, is there anything you would like to explain about this special classroom where you and Jean-Charles spent a lot of time together and you were the only human children?
Yes, David confirms that they were only these two human children in this class, because Maria Orsic was the teacher in this class for these special abilities, psychic abilities. So as Jean-Charles said, for telepathy and empathy and other psychic specialties. And he remembered that these abilities were very necessary for the further missions they were enrolled for later on.
Okay, so this Maria, now later on, I think, David, you confirmed that this was actually the famous Maria Orsic. So how come she was on this craft? That's a question a lot of people have. Why was she serving on the Solaris? Do you know how she got there? Jean-Charles, do you have any insight?
Yeah. I think Maria worked with a lot of spaces, but I think she worked for the intersideral conglomerate, the Confederation of World, and she have a place. She have a rank, a high rank into this federation. So I remember she helped to build a spaceship. So she have accreditation for teach children, and she have a lot of connection with a lot of alien races in the cosmos. So Maria was very important in SSP, French SSP, and a lot of space project and the secret space project.
David, do you want to add anything about Maria Orsic and her role in the French-US secret space program?
The info he gives, he cannot be sure of 100% because he was told this. So Maria Orsic were on the time from the Nazis. She came to infiltrate this movement, this black movement, to bring some light in there. And then when the war was over and it didn't work, I think how she would have to, she went back and was not there a long time. And then she returned because she had agreements with the Confederation, but David can't say exactly how she came on Solaris, when she came, but he knows it was with the agreement of the Confederation of the World, Federation of the Worlds.
Okay, thank you. That actually does help. Maria Orsic was kind of like a fifth columnist for the Galactic Confederation or Federation and infiltrated the Nazi movement, and then began to serve again with the Federation after the war. So this is another question. Both of you describe the Solaris as a joint French-US secret space program, but there were a lot of extraterrestrials there. So why was that? Why were so many extraterrestrials serving on the Solaris? Jean-Charles, begin with you.
There is a lot of secret space program with a lot of countries in the world, like Artemis project, but it was not secret now. The world, a lot of countries work with alien races since a lot of years. Okay, so they want to protect the galaxy against hostile races like Draco and another alien species. So they join our force with a country. So the Solaris, the Excelsior, and Solar Warden is like a big fleet with extraterrestrial working together with humans, because they want to protect the Earth, because the Earth is very important for different races in the cosmos. So they want to help discreetly, secretly, with the human to join our force, to have a special secret space program and a lot of things.
Would David like to add anything about the fact that so many extraterrestrials were also serving on the Solaris, this Franco-American spacecraft?
Alors oui, effectivement, il y a...
David confirms that there were a lot of races, different races of extraterrestrials who collaborate in these programs, because they all want the same thing, to help Earth and humanity and humankind. And so he knows that these extraterrestrial races are part of the seeders, the ones who seeded life on Earth. And so they are responsible, they feel responsible for their garden. So, and so they interact.
Yes, we will talk about the seeders a little bit more later. So I just wanted to ask the question. So in 1982, Jean-Charles and David, you're together, you're on the Solaris, you're being given these classes, classes in psychic development and special gifts. Were you also involved in other classes that dealt with, say, the history of the space program? Did they give you any kind of idea of when this French-American collaboration began, or did they talk about the very early stages, like with the Germans building a space program? Did you get any kind of history when you were training on the Solaris, beginning with Jean-Charles?
Oh, yeah. I remember in the classroom they teach to the child how to develop our abilities. There is a little story about alien in the universe. They create a lot of hybrid in the universe, and they explain to the child where we are from. We from the star, and but I don't remember. They explain the secret space program. They tell us it's very important to keep to save a lot of humans with our training. The goals of the training was to help people in Earth and the people in other world to save the slavery in other planets. So we are trained, David and me and other alien species, to reach a team, a special team to rescue humans in other world, in other dimension. So in the classroom, they explain how to do that in the future.
Thank you. David, do you want to add anything to that?
En fait, en tout cas pour moi personnellement.
The important part in this class was the teaching of how to develop the qualities, the special abilities he had with telepathy, because it was very important for the future missions, because the other ones were not able to interact with some races, so as the reptilians, whereas David could do it. That was to confirm that they had no teaching about the secret space programs themselves, the origin or why. No, they had no info on that.
So David says that he began his 20 back in 1981 at 8 years old. In 1982, he meets Jean-Charles. He's about 9 now. Jean-Charles is 13. So when did the training end? You know, you're going to classrooms, you're developing these skill sets. So when did the training end for you respectively and real life operations began? So maybe we can begin with you again, Jean-Charles. When did the learning end and the operations begin, you know, putting on suits and going out there to do these rescues?
Okay. I remember when our training was finished, David and me was in the corridor, and we was adults, okay, like 20, 21 years approximately, and we enter in the tube, each tube, and regression age, and for me, reintegrate my summer camp, okay? And David, at the same age, reintegrate the teenage age. So we grown with the adult age, and after that, I go to military service in France, and this is the twice I met David, and I begin my military service in the SSP in this timeline with adults, okay, and I reconnect with David in the same spaceship in the Solaris, and it was the two times I met David, and we were in a big amphitheater with a lot of people, alien people. I think it was the same child, but adult, and there is a David in the amphitheater, and Maria was in the center with a big emblem like Confederation, Galactic Confederation, and the mission began, but in adult. Okay, the first part was the training, teenager until adult age, and after that they put me and David into a tube and age regression, and after that we make our life like a child, a normal child, and the memory rise after when we were in military service for David and military service for me. I was in the commando, and with my accident, I was in the hospitalization. They put me again and remember all my training, and I was okay to begin my mission in adults.
Thank you. So, David, do you remember when your training ended and your real life operations began?
David remembers that he was between 12 and 14 years old when the training finished, and then they were sent on mission. He remembers that it was this time when he began to go to rescue people on missions.
And during those missions, David's psychic and empathic skills were what were used. Even though he was very young, he was very gifted in those abilities, and they were helping the rescues. Is that pretty correct? Accurate summary of what he was doing during those missions?
Yes, the first years, perhaps 5-6 years until he was adult, he didn't do anything other than to be a link between the extraterrestrials and the humans, to communicate and to pass on the info, and otherwise on both sides. That was his role in these missions.
In interviewing you both, you seem to have slightly different recollections about the time together on the Solaris. Jean-Charles, you remember being on the Solaris for a brief time and reunifying kind of like 10 years later. David remembers like that you were together for a long time. So can you maybe reconcile that? Maybe David, can you explain how much time you and Jean-Charles spent together on the Solaris when you were 8 and he was 13, and how much time were you together? Was it for a few months? Was it for a few years?
So yes, he remembers he trained very much on these psychic abilities, on telepathy. So they exchanged with the other children, extraterrestrial children that were here on the ship to develop their capacity. And so they better knew each other because they remembered and told about their planet, about their world, and David did also the same thing. And so yes, he says he spent much time with this training to do this there. Il y a autre chose.
Now, you both served with the French military as conscripts around the same time. Now, Jean-Charles, you say this was when you began a 20 and back program with the French secret space program, and that the earlier period in 1982 was when you began your training. Now, David, you were in the French, you were conscripted into the French military around the same time. What was it, 1993, or when was it exactly that you were? So both of you were conscripts in the French army around the same time, and was this also when you began service as an adult? So yeah, maybe Jean-Charles and then David, if you address that question.
Okay, for me, when I was 13, my training began, and during my training, I met David, and we spent a lot of years together to develop any abilities, and we have a special mission, but not mission like comment on dit sauvetage? Rescue, not rescue, just to make another races and share our life and share friendship and with David. But after that, when we are more older, we go to the mission, because in a teenager we can go to the mission, but we just observe everything, and alien teacher teach with David and me, and we share with telepathic a lot of things with us. But after that, when I was in military services in the 2021 age, we go to the mission in adults with David, and this is the time where I was very bad injuries with David. But the mission was very, very dangerous when we were adults in a different solar system.
So can David explain a little bit about what happened during his military service and him also being a part of the French secret space program?
I think there is many timelines. We talk about that with David and Michael, because this is very difficult for people to understand what I mean. But I think there is a lot of timelines. A timelines when we are teenager, a timeline when we are adults. Because I remember, and sometime it's not the same, but we have the same memories together. The room, Maria, the Solaris, the mission, but different years, different things, but it's the same memories. So my solution, for me, inside of me, it's a different timeline. We have an extension, okay? We have extension for me, extension for David, extension for a lot of people. And I think there is a lot of Jean-Charles and many David. When we spoke now, there is another extension of David work in the space. And for me, it's the same thing. I think there is a many timelines.
Okay, so yes, David says yes. It seems not to be very coherent. No? That the things doesn't match, but it's normal because there are many different timelines, and so he can't explain it why, but he knows it is real what he is recalling. So as Jean-Charles, and he gave an example. The day he saw one TR3B,
yes,
TR3B. This day when he came from work and he saw one of these airplanes, and he thinks he's very convinced that he was abducted again on this day, and that it was again for the secret space program, enrolled in a mission.
Yes, important thing. I remember, important thing, very important thing, my friend. I remember, and my parent is witness of that. In my life, I have a many story about somebody is very sure to see me in a different places in the same time. Okay, it's not somebody look like me, it's me, and the people talk to me and say, hey, Jean-Charles, do you remember yesterday we was in the Champs-Élysées in the Eiffel Tower? No, I was with my parents in a dinner. It's impossible. Oh, it's you. I remember you. And when I'm thinking about this, I remember something, but it was very, comment on dit flou?
Vague.
Vague. Well,
vague.
Yeah, but I remember something, but I'm not sure. But I'm not here. I'm sure I was with my parents. So who is that? He looked at me? No, it's not look at me. It was me. So there is a different timelines. No?
So they had the same experience with different timelines. So as Jean-Charles, where people told him, I saw you yesterday, you were downtown, and it wasn't true, because he knows he was on another place on this day.
David had the same experience for David. People say, I see David, but David was not here. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So definitely there are more timelines, not one timeline. There are a lot of Jean-Charles and a lot of Davids over there.
Okay, so then we know that in the early 1990s, both David and Jean-Charles are now adults, and they are actively participating in the joint French-US secret space program aboard the Solaris and other craft, doing these rescue missions. And you described 2 missions that you served on together to Mars. And in both of these incidents, in one incident, David got hurt, he got stabbed by a reptilian, and in another incident, Jean-Charles got hurt. So which incident was first? And let's begin with that. If you begin, maybe Jean-Charles, talk about the first incident on Mars where you two were together serving, and what happened. Jean-Charles, we begin with you. The first time you and David served together on Mars, where one of you got injured.
I remember the first time was when I was in the mission with David. It was for the diplomatic with another races, and it was a bad idea. Okay, and I remember that David was injured by reptilian, and I saved David because my instinct was to protect my brother. And the other times it was the inverse. Okay, I want to protect David too again because he was younger than me. So for me, my friendship was I must to protect my brother, and this time it was me, very bad injuries in the back, and until death, if the team of the rescue of David don't save me, I was probably dead. And thank you very much, David, to save my life. And it's vice versa. And it was a 2 missions.
These 2 missions occurred in the 1990s, like when do you remember roughly when they began? Like as young adults, did they begin did they happen during the beginning of your service or kind of more towards the end or the middle?
Oh, it was when I was an adult. I was 20, 24, 25 years when I was very bad injuries. And I remember we are not younger, we are more older. We are adults.
I see. So David, do you want to talk about those two incidents on Mars where both of you got injured in different times and rescued each other?
Oui, alors effectivement, la première mission dont je me suis souvenu, et Jean-Charles aussi, c'est ça qui était fou d'ailleurs, parce qu'on ne s'était même pas concerté par rapport à ça au début. Effectivement, c'est moi qui avais été blessé.
As to the first of these two missions, the first one is when David was hurted and he was stabbed by a reptilian, and he was bad injured because this stab was a kind of poison, but not with a poison, with a bacteria that injected him a sort of parasite, a symbiote, who was to live in his body. And David was put in a med bed to be healed then. That was the first of these two missions. La deuxième, si tu veux. David relates on the second mission where Jean-Charles was very badly hurt. So they went on a rescue mission for two families on Mars, but David felt it was a trap, that they shouldn't go there because it wasn't going all right. And there they encountered a lot of these Dracos, and one of them hurt Jean-Charles because he came to rescue David and pushed him behind a container, and the Draco hurt Jean-Charles with his tail. At the end of the tail, they have a dart, so as the scorpion. And he was injured on his flank and very, very badly. And it was a long and deep injury. And David also said he remembers that now, until now, the cry, the shouting of pain from Jean-Charles when he was hurt.
Can you both describe what kind of equipment you had during those two missions to Mars? You know, what kind of suits did you have? How could you breathe on the surface of Mars? And what kind of weapons did you have? So again, Jean-Charles, we'll begin with you.
Yeah, we have a special suit like exoskeleton, you know?
Exoskeleton?
Yeah, exoskeleton. To have a more power against reptilian, because there was a very, very powerful and telepathic. So they know what we think before we fight. So it's very difficult to fight somebody if he knows what you want to do to these guys. So with special abilities, with this suit, we have a little device.
Adventures.
Yes, to breathe with a little capsule with oxygen, you know, and we can breathe because in Mars, outside of Mars, because some people live inside of Mars, like Agatha in Earth, but there is an Agatha in Mars. Outside, the atmosphere is different because there is a lot of soufre, comment on dit soufre? Sulfur? Metallic particle in atmosphere. It's dangerous for humans to breathe, not for the aliens, because the alien have the different
sulfur.
Yes, yeah. This is sulfur in the atmosphere, so it's very dangerous for humans. So we have a special suit, exoskeleton with a little
Filter?
apparel.
Air filter?
Yeah, air filter. Thank you. Sorry, air filter. Yeah, and it's very dangerous because when we fight, the reptilian knows you must to breathe with this, so he want to destroy this to don't breathe. It's very tricky, you know. So that I remember with the suit.
Can David recall anything about the suits, about the weapons, about the atmosphere on Mars?
Alors, oui, je me souviens de plusieurs petites choses.
Yes, David confirms about the exoskeleton. They need these suits because they gave them a little more strength to fight against the Dracos and to breathe with this device. And he remembers the atmosphere in Mars that is quite irrespirable. You can't breathe it, unbreathable, without an oxygen device, because they would have no air enough to breathe there on Mars. Si j'ai oublié quelque chose, David, tu me dis. Yes, David remembers their physically their body was different. They were larger, bigger, and with more strength, with more muscles than now.
Okay, maybe you explain that. So was your consciousness downloaded into an avatar that was a clone or a genetically enhanced version of you for these missions to Mars? Either of you can answer that. Was when David said that he was bigger and stronger, does that mean that his consciousness was in a cloned or in a genetically enhanced version of himself that was serving, doing these missions?
Okay, for me, it was me, but with more powerful, not in the avatar, for me. But for David, I think there is a molecule structure DNA change in the medbed. There is a different program in the medbed, and there is a healing, there is a sleeping, there is a lot of things, and there is a DNA modification in the medbed, like a program, and more powerful, etc.
Yes, David confirms what Jean-Charles said about David, that he was enhanced in this medbed or this container where they put them in, and they acted on the DNA. They changed the DNA to give the body more strength and to become bigger and stronger. But it was not avatar, not a consciousness transfer. It was really his body, his own body. Yes, he says to be a little bit humorous that it likes very much on Hulk. You know, when the professor is transforming himself into this green giant, very, very big and strong.
So literally there is this kind of, because some people have talked about that. I know James Rink in his Secret Space Program interviews talks about this Hulk program that he says he went under, that he went through that. But you're saying, David, that you actually went through something similar, that your body, because you don't look like a big guy, but you were turned into someone much taller, more powerful, that could actually fight against reptilians. So that's correct, that this kind of Hulk program does exist.
Yes, David says yes, but he didn't know that this program existed and that it was called the Hulk program. So he discovers this with your words. He didn't know that, and yes, he confirms that it was real and it was needed because the Dracos are about 3 meters tall and about they weigh about 100 kilo and more. Non, c'est même plus que ça, une tonne, c'est 1000, c'est ça? Une tonne?
Oui.
1,000 kilos. So you see, they are very, very strong and powerful. So they had to be stronger to fight them, against them.
I see. And you saw this, Jean-Charles. I mean, you saw David during these missions that he was a lot bigger. So I guess David is what, about, I don't know, how tall you are, David? Are we talking maybe 170 centimeters or 5'8"? How tall was he in the program, according to your estimates, Jean-Charles, when he was enhanced?
For the Draco?
For David, how much bigger was David?
Oh, David was a lot of muscle, like it's a comparison, okay? Like a bodybuilder, you know, with a muscle, like, with a big shape, in a very a big shape with a lot of muscle, and the same face. Okay, it's very strange, the same face, but the shoulder was bigger and the arm was bigger, and the leg, and very quick. You know, just not muscle, very, very quick.
I see. So not necessarily taller, but just a lot thicker, stronger, more muscly. I see. I understand. Okay.
Yes, but David said he was taller also. C'est ça, ce que tu as dit, David, que tu étais aussi plus grand, du coup. Transformé.
More taller than he is now.
Taller than he is now.
Like me. I am 6 feet, more, 1m80. So David is more taller than now, but it's not 2 meters. Okay, no. It's not 7 feet. Okay.
Okay, so this genetic modification or hulkification, it makes you a few inches taller, but a lot thicker, a lot stronger, a lot faster. Okay, very interesting. So both of you went through similar training, similar missions. You've both described 2 missions to Mars together as adults. Do you remember any other missions together? Begin with you, Jean-Charles. Do you remember any other missions other than these 2 missions to Mars with David?
Yeah. I remember 2 missions with David for rescue and injury me and injury David, but we have another mission, but more Pacific mission, to meet some people, different people, like cats people, like feline people, like reptilian, but good reptilian, red reptilian, brown reptilian, red reptilian. There is a lot of races, and we met these people to have agreements for the peace in the universe, and mineral extraction, crystal extraction, and we participate, David and me, with another mission, not only fight mission. We have a lot of mission.
David, can you elaborate?
So yes, David remembers that during the other missions, diplomatic missions, they encountered many different races, extraterrestrial races. He says, perhaps we encountered 1,000 different races in the cosmos, in the universe. And often it was on a mission to share the views, to come to an agreement, to exchange crystals with one another. And so yes, there were very much other missions, not only fight missions.
Okay, now in your book, David, you say that in 2001, you decided not to sign up for another 20 and back program, and that Jean-Charles agreed with you and also didn't sign up for another 20 and back program. Now, I just want to reconcile that with what Jean-Charles has said, that he began his 20 and back in 1993, and that continued to, I guess, what, 2013? So maybe if you both comment about, when was the last time you served with the French-American secret space programs? Again, maybe Jean-Charles, you begin, and then David can elaborate.
In the end of my military service, it was in 1992. Okay, I think it's before the 1919. Oh yeah, 1991. Okay, if I remember. But I think we are, me and David, in a standby. We are in standby because there is a lot of things happen in the universe at this time. When we spoke at this time, there is a fleet arrive in the universe to help, I don't know, help humanity, help people, but something is happening at this time. So I think all Starseed serve in the Secret Space Force, American or French, are in standby right now.
Thank you. David, can you explain your recollections of finishing and ending, or whether it continues in a kind of reserve status like Jean-Charles just explained?
Oui, c'est vrai que c'est une très bonne question. Je me souviens en tout cas, déjà par moi-même, enfin par choix personnel, j'avais dit non au fait de reconduire pour 20 autres années, entre guillemets, parce que Jean-Charles et moi, et comme d'autres, avions beaucoup morflé, si je peux dire.
Yes, David says yes. He remembers very well that 2001, he said, no, it's enough. I don't sign for another 20 and back, and I will go home. But he remembers also that Maria Orsic said, it's okay, you are going back, but you are being put in standby, as we can say. And it's perhaps one day we will need you again and you will be reactivated for the missions. That is what he recalls.
Okay, that's very important. Well, one of the things that both of you have talked about from your earliest experiences is that you had kind of extraterrestrial mentors. David talks about Ezael, and Jean-Charles talks about Victor, and you describe them, and they sound very similar. So, are they related in some way? What is the connection between Ezael and Victor?
I know Victor is in touch with Ezael. Is there a communication, both of us, because I found my brother again, so it's time to reconnect Starseed and Guide. You know Guide?
Guide.
Okay, Guide. So each other know each other. Okay, my guide is Victor, and the guide of David is Ezael, but they know each other. They work together. Now, at this time, they work together. I know that. And David can confirm what I say.
Oui, effectivement.
Yes, David confirms that since he met Jean-Charles again, Ezael told him that he is in touch with Jean-Charles and the guide of Jean-Charles, Victor. the guide.
Et actuellement, ils
They
collaborent
still
encore.
come together and collaborate between Ezael and Victor.
So with Ezael and Victor, both of them are members of which galactic organization?
Yes. They work together, and they are a part of a conglomerate, space conglomerate. I know Ezael and Victor have a big rank into this organization.
Non, c'est parce que
The name of confederation?
Yes, you have the name.
There is a lot of name, but I think there is a once. Okay, there is a conglomerate, interstellar conglomerate, or a confederation of world, or there are many names. So for me, it's a conglomerate, international space conglomerate, or for David, I don't, but I think there is a lot of section in. There is a conglomerate, and there is a lot of branch. Okay, I know it's branch, you know,
Branches,
and there is a different section, but there is an only one entity in higher and
at top.
Pardon?
At top. Oh,
Yeah, at top. Okay, so for me it's a conglomerate, in interstellar conglomerate, but for David, I don't know if he can confirm have another name of the interstellar or confederation of world. And
we could say there are many levels under which they are known, and we can name them confederation of the world, conglomerate of the universe, of what you will, confederation. All labels are okay. I think personally the labels are only for us, for the terrestrials, because they don't need any label.
Yeah, well, Elena Danan has talked a lot about a galactic federation of worlds. So we're talking about the same organization, just with a different name, or is this something completely different?
Oh, I think Elena is right. It's a Galactic Confederation. It's for me is a right name. Yeah, I think it's a real name. Yeah.
Oui, moi je l'appelle aussi l'Alliance Galactique, mais c'est ça.
Yeah, Alliance, Galactic Alliance.
Galactic Alliance.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there have been a number of people, including Elena, that have talked about a large fleet of extraterrestrial spacecraft that recently arrived in our solar system in 2021 that belong to a Cedar race. And Jean-Charles, you talked about the Cedars earlier. So can you now maybe give us a little bit more information about what you know of this group of extraterrestrials, the Cedars, that have just come into our solar system?
The only information I have is Victor told me there is 1 week, and there is a lot of fleets arrive in the solar system to help the Earth. And the information is like Elena told you, and I think something very big happening in a few months, maybe before. But every people in the Earth, like Starseed, like you, like Elena, like Tony, can confirm something happening in the universe right now.
So this is fresh. I mean, Victor just told you this a week ago. So,
yeah.
So we have another source confirming that a very large fleet of extraterrestrials, the Cedars, have arrived in our solar system to watch what's happening on Earth.
Yeah, it's like a city in the space with there is a very huge mothership, not a little spaceship. It's a very huge. I think there is a lot of world come to. I don't want to say save the world, but I think there is this time is a good time now, because there is a lot of bad thing in Earth. I don't want to speak about you know what I mean.
Yes, of course.
But I think some races think there is it's not normal what's happened in the earth, and they want to help us for change something, and maybe kick us Draco in the universe.
Okay. So David, do you have any information about the Cedars, about this fleet of extraterrestrial spacecraft that have recently arrived in our solar system?
Oui, effectivement.
David says, yes, he confirms what Jean-Charles said, that there is a very large float who came into our solar system to observe and to assist humankind in this period. It is a key period because we are here to have soon a big change, and they are here to assist us in this transition period, which is very, very important for all, not only for us terrestrials, but also for them. And so they are here, and the Cedars are here because they are part of this process, what is going on here on Earth.
So how did David learn about the Cedars? Is this something Azael told him, or is this something he intuitively knows or got information in some other way?
David says, yes, he has different sources. One source is Azael, because he confirmed to him that, yes, the Cedars are back here. And David self saw them in a consciousness projection where he met them again. He names them the ancients, and he met them again, so he knows they are here again.
Well, that's amazing. So both of you have independently confirmed what other sources that I've been talking about that are saying that the Cedars have arrived and they are here to oversee these kind of end times, if you like, this transition. That's amazing. Now, these same sources have been talking about these very large ancient arcs that are being activated in our solar system, and that they are being found on the Moon, on the Mars, and even on Earth. Do you know anything about this? Let's begin with Jean-Charles again.
Yes, there is a lot of days next week. Melanie and me felt something activated in Earth and in the universe, and we don't know what is this, but now I think is the arch activated in the universe, because we felt this, because we are different like other people. We have abilities to feel the energy, the cosmic energy, and if something happened in the universe, like arch or vortex or anything else, we felt this is. So for me, I think something happening in the universe, in the Mars, in the Moon, in the Earth, and in Antarctica too, because there is a lot of arch opening, because I think the energy communicates with the feeders coming with the fleet, and I think the fleet is connected with the arch, and they approach and the energy rise at this time.
Yes, David confirms that what Jean-Charles said about the approaching of the ancient, which is the fact that reactivates these arcs. He thinks that these ancients, these Cedars, are reactivated by themselves, these arcs, probably with their own energy, and also with our energy here, with the energy of the people who is evolving. The people whose consciousness is evolving are helping this reactivation of the arcs. And so we can know it here because we can feel it more present, and they are releasing knowledge, ancient knowledge and technologies which were hidden until now. And when they come, they will release all of this, in this time now.
At this moment, there are a lot of people in the world feel dizzy because the energy come inside. And Melanie yesterday have a shutdown. She lost consciousness twice in a room, and I was afraid. And what's matter? And I don't know. Boom, twice, and it was very, very afraid because I was impressed. What's matter? And I think more energy come into the coronal chakra, and some people like us, we are very receptive about this energy, and I think they open wild energy and in the cosmos, and we send and we receive this energy at this moment.
And of course, Melanie is Jean-Charles' partner. It's just for people that don't know who she is.
It's my fiancée. It's my wife.
Thank you for clarifying that. So now let's go to the Artemis Accords. Now, just recently, President Emmanuel Macron has said that France will join the Artemis Accords. Canada is already a member of the Artemis Accords. So what do you know of the Artemis Accords and any possible connection to the extraterrestrial visitors?
I think the Artemis Code is here before now. Okay, it's a lot of nation for the like a Star Trek Space Force. Okay, and it will cost $35 billion to make this agreement in place. I think it exists before the announcement. The Artemis is like a Star Trek, and it joined the David, me, and Elena and Tony for the Space Force. It's like a Space Force, Artemis Code. It's a lot of country work together in the space. So it's like a Space Force. It's with a lot of country. I don't remember, but the France was not in the Artemis, but now they're in the Artemis Code. There is a 2 months or 3 months when they discuss about Artemis. They don't have the France was not here in the Artemis Code. So what's matter now? Why they want to be in the Artemis Code? I think Artemis Code is the beginning of disclosure for a lot of things happen in the universe. Then slowly the disclosure slowly, but for the people know the truth about secret space program. The Artemis Code was okay. It's Artemis Code, but it exists before the announcement. I'm sure about that.
David.
Thanks for David. It's a continuation. It's not the beginning. It existed already, but it's only that now they are joining these agreements, and as a continuation of the secret space programs, maybe not as a secret as before.
So both of you are essentially saying that the Artemis Accords and this initiative recently to have these space commands of different countries join, that this is not new, that this is really just a way of making public something that has already existed for years, if not decades already.
Oh, I think it's the beginning of the disclosure. Every years we tell that, but this year's, I think it's the big disclosure coming.
So in the way in which Artemis Accords, the unified space commands are really bringing in this kind of Star Trek future that already kind of exists, but in the classified world, but now it's going to become public.
Yes. But some people are very suspicious about that. Oh no, Artemis, it's like a space program, like another space. No, it's not a space program like other space program. Elon Musk wants to colonization Mars with a city not in 20 years, it in two years. Okay, how it's possible if there is nobody in this Mars? Because he lied. There are a lot of people in Mars. So now they disclosure slowly the truth, and Artemis and the Mars mission and the billionaire go to the chess in levitation in the spacecraft, and it's very beautiful. He want to make a hostel in a space for people have a million to sail this, but many countries want to disclosure, like Israeli minister, I don't remember the name, but he disclosure like a Russian president, not Vladimir Putin, but the other guys for the presidential. He talk with he think the microphone was cut, and he described there is an interaction with the other world, other alien races. So I think slowly, but not slowly, it's very quick now. They want to disclosure the truth because they know the fleet arrive. So they want to disclosure now because he wants to tell the not the truth, because if they tell every truth, people very crazy, and there is a lot of I don't know the name, but the truth is not good too quick, okay? Because they lie since 24, 25 years, and now they must disclosure. It's time, because they know the truth. They know the arch opening, the energy, the fleet arrive, and the NASA with the big telescope, telescope, yeah, they watch the fleet arrive. So they discuss between us and tell, oh, it's time, because they're coming. So let's disclosure, like you, my friend, like Elena, like Tony, like David, like me, we make our possible to make our truth, not the truth. We are a piece of puzzle, a truth, and each have comment dit tableau? A paint, like a paint, okay?
Like a painting.
Every people have a truth, and every people together make a truth, okay? I don't know if I explain myself, because I do my best.
Thank you. David.
Yes, David says he's okay with Jean-Charles when he says it's a disclosure, and it comes progressively, because it is time to, and yes, they have no other choice, I would say. So yes, they to disclose that what happens now, because they can't hide it anymore, and it is known since many years, but now it will be known for the public, because there are many people now who are making an awakening, and their consciousness is growing, and so they will know by themselves. So all this is not very interesting for our governments, because they don't want this disclosure, but they can't hinder the people to become more conscious, and people get their own information because they are more connected with their own inner self, with their higher self. And so they don't need another source as their own inner source to know what happens. And that is nobody can stop this movement.
Wonderfully said. So what have you been told, or what do you know lies in store for the future of humanity? Jean-Charles, then David.
Interesting question, my friend. I think with this disclosure, the humanity grows up, and with the help of different races in the universe, can change the timeline, because there is a different timeline. And I think the deep state don't want to change this timeline, but like say Malou, it's too late. The disclosures come, and I think if more people like us disclosure and spoke about experiences and the secret space program and a lot of things, the humanity rise memories, and I think this is the best way to disclosure. This time, the time is come.
David.
So yes, what awaits us for the future is very interesting, because it is a reintegration of the humankind, terrestrial humankind, with the other galactic races, and we will join them, we will meet them and know them, exchange knowledge, and we will grow with these encounters. So this is the future.
Thank you. That's an amazing future we have. So what are your plans for sharing your experiences and knowledge in the future? Jean-Charles.
For me, it is to finish my second part of South Shore Origin, about the adventure of Jonathan Fox, my story. It's like a documentary with a fiction, but it's more easy to give the information inside my movie. And you are in my movie, my friend Michael, in a cameo inside. This is my solution to give information. And I want to share my experience with a Starseed Revelation Part 2, because I have another information that Victor gave me. There is some weeks and some days. So I want to integrate the new information about my experience. And with the first part of Starseed Revelation, I don't tell everything, because I would be slowly, because I don't want to shock people with my experience. So now I think it's time, because the people know my experiences, know my life about extraterrestrial, know about David. So I decide to open open wild the disclosure about So the two parts of South Shore and the Revelation Starship Revelation will be another level to disclosure. So this is the solution to share. And now my brother David.
So David has many projects for the future. The first one is to continue the series Beyond Our World, his books. 2 volumes are written, and there are 2 to come in the next years. He is now working on the 3rd volume of the book. On the other hand, he is lecturing more than before, because he gets many invitations to come, and yesterday he was on a signing session, but it ended with a conference, because people want to know, people are eager to know the information he has to share. And he also works with other people as Mathieu, Franck Atem on a web TV named Civilization 5D. And with Jean-Charles, he came as guest many times. So he's very occupied, very busy, and will be in the future.
So if people want to get in touch with you and learn about your experiences, your books, your videos, films, where do they go? For you,
so for me, they want to contact me to my Facebook page. It's in French, Rive Sud Origin, but I have a channel, YouTube channel, Connection Aliens, and a Vimeo channel too. All my stuff is in English dubbing, not subtitle. All in English dubbing. So it's very good to share my experience to the English people, and this is you can reach me. No, contact me. You can contact me with this Connection Alien and Facebook with Jean-Charles Moyen to my profile too.
Yeah, and we'll have the links in the description to this this video. David, where can people contact you and learn a bit and get your material?
So to contact David, you have several possibilities. The first one is his website, author website, David Rousseau, where he gives information about the books. On this website, you will find a link directly to our edition, our publishing, where the people can find his books in French, and now the English version of the 1st volume of the story. The second one is in translation presently. They can also find David on his artist site, and this is davienart.com, where he exposes the galactic portraits he made and other activities. And he has also a web channel or a YouTube channel where the people can see his conferences, videos, and so on. Several of them are also on our website, publishing website, in the video gallery, so you can find it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jean-Charles and David, for your enlightening information. I think it gives people a lot of hope that we are entering an important new era. And I want to thank you, Malou, for translating as well.
Thank
you, Michael, to receive us and explain our unique story about my relation with my friend, my brother of star, David. Thank you very much, my friend. I love you.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Thank you, Malou, too. Thank you, Malou.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys, and until another day. Thank you, Michael, for the invitation.
Thank you,
Michael. Un grand merci à Michael, un grand merci à Jean-Charles aussi, et un grand merci à toi, Malou.
De rien, avec plaisir.
Merci.
You have been listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Sala. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Join or start a conversation in the comments. Take the time to explore the vast library of best-selling books, webinars, and podcasts by Dr. Sala. Visit exopoliticstoday.com.